the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
A guy that just has such a high ceiling, as you can just kind of dream up all those different little situations about how good he could be and how fun it'll be to watch him.
I like it. In terms of the rotation here, Ryan, Sylvia, do you think it's all set, or do you think that there are some battles still to be seen? So fans who are already expecting 1 through 5, this is going to be this. How much would you push back and be like, I don't know, there's at least 1, maybe 2 battles that you're expecting really are going to go to the wire here over the next couple months?
The one I would be the most paying attention to would be at the 4 spot between Cade and Jaylen Carey. I still lean Jaylen Carey at this moment. I think you brought him in to have a guy that can somewhat stretch the floor. He's not going to, shoot the lights out, but he's someone that you have to respect that 3-point shot, and he brings you a little bit more of a physical scoring presence down low at times. So that's my pick to start there, but I don't think I would be surprised at all if, Cade Phillips stepped in and became a starter in year 3. Like, that wouldn't be a shocking thing. The other 4 spots, they feel kind of locked. I would be surprised if JP Estrella passed Felix Okpara on the depth chart. I would be pretty surprised, obviously, if Nate Ament and Jacoby Gillespie aren't 2 of the starters for Tennessee. Then the shooting guard spot, I just don't see a better option on the roster than Amaree Abram. So it just feels like a natural fit there that he would slide in and be that starter. Maybe Bishop Boswell can come in and impress, but to me, it feels like those 4, I feel pretty good about those being the starters. Something surprising would have to happen, whether it's a reserve guy really stepping up or one of those guys not living up to expectations in the preseason. But that 4 spot, I think, will be a little bit interesting at first and something to monitor between Carey and Cade Phillips.
Rick Barnes and I are going to be going back and forth, Rock and Cena style, once in a lifetime over the next year is my guess here, Ryan, Sylvia, because look, Limp Bizkit, My Way is going to be playing, and it's going to be me making the case for JP Estrella starting over Felix Okpara, and Barnes being like, we need the defense, and Felix can do more than you think. We're going to throw it into him a couple of times. Remember those early possessions this season where they were like, let's let Felix cook inside, and he's going to do some ISOs. We're going to dump it inside. And it's like, no, he's a rim runner. He's Clint Capella. Like, that's okay, but that's what he is. Like, there was this idea where it's like, oh, there might be more to the bag inside than we might have anticipated. No, there was, like, that's okay. Maybe something else happens, but it just reminds me of just like the Jemai Meshack shots and from last year where it's like all these shots, like he's going to shoot threes. Jonas Adu 2 years ago. There's like the threes are there. The threes are coming. Threes never came. I think Felix Okpara is a really good basketball player. I think he is still going to always be limited in the half court. That all being said, the only way for JP Estrella to realize his potential is JP Estrella to play a lot of minutes. And that means dealing with some defensive issues. It means going through some lumps because he missed all of this past year. But I still think he's a high floor guy or high ceiling guy on this team. And I just think he's got to get minutes. And Barnes has to live with some rough minutes from JP Estrella early on to see what he can ultimately be. Because, look, I've never wavered on my JP Estrella stock here, Ryan, Sylvia, and I need him to play. So Rick Barnes and I are going to be at war because I'm worried he's going to bury JP because he's deeper at inside than he's been in a little bit. And it's like, I just could see a scenario where we see a 3-man rotation inside with Cade, Carey, and Felix. And it's going to drive me nuts because I'm like, JP's got to play. And the only way JP's going to get better and more confident and be able to be kind of the star potential that he has to play. And I don't know. High floor is Felix Okpara. High ceiling is JP. But maybe JP is at the 4. Maybe that's the way around it. JP stretches the floor a little bit more than we anticipated, and he maybe settles in there a little bit more than we're anticipating. But I don't know. That's my battle, and I'm going to see if I can push Rick Barnes over the course of the next 5 months to be like, you got to do it, Rick. You gotta face some issues with JP early on and let him work it out on the court because that's the only way he's going to get better. It's the only way he's going to maximize his potential. He's got to play. He's got to go through the lumps.
I think what saves you there is I don't know how much Rick will want to go to a lineup where JP or Felix isn't in. So assuming you get 25-ish minutes, maybe you're pushing 30 for Felix, depending on foul trouble, you're still getting your good 15 to 20 from JP. So even if it's off the bench, I think you're still getting a good handful of JP Estrella minutes. And I
Unless
agree.
he really likes Dwayne Brown.
That's true. There's those options in there, I guess. But I feel like we'll see a good amount of JP, and I feel like this could be I don't want to say a breakout season. Like I don't think he's going to score in double digits, but I think it'll be a season that could be a nice building block to a nice career. I mean, he's someone that has 3 years of eligibility left, and maybe that redshirt year is a blessing in disguise because now you get to keep him an extra year, and he could develop into a really nice player by the end of his career.
That's true. I don't know. I got to just start the movement now. It's April 30th as we're taping this run, Sylvia. I've got to be on it just in case Rick is, you know how Coach Barnes does. He's often scrolling the Tennessee Vols from various podcasts on YouTube. Big late night YouTube scroller. Rick Barnes, many forget. And I just wanted to, he's like, you know what? I'm going to lean in what Chase is saying here. We're going to get a lot of JP Estrella at the 5. I'm going to alternate starting him and Felix at the 5 for the first couple of games of the season to see which works better.
Yeah.
Let's give it a real opportunity.
Rick's definitely listening. The first time I saw him pull out a smartphone, I was a little bit surprised. I was like, wow, I mean, I guess, pretty much everyone has one nowadays then, because part of me just figured he had a flip phone or something still when he was texting recruits on a flip phone or something. But
I want to believe that Rick is like a green dot snub. That would be fantastic stuff. Where he's like, I won't text anybody without the blue dots. Won't do it.
We say all this, but he's probably a tech. Well, we know he does do the old man. There's the picture of him with the phone, and he's leaning all the way back to get the view of it. So I guess we do know he does fit the archetype of old man with the iPhone.
But he's still great at what he does.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.